After excessive amounts of alcohol, I finally quit drinking and drove over here. Accidentally hit a dog, which was kind of upsetting because I had just gotten a car wash. I've been told that I look like I'm 17, which apparently doesn't hold up in court. Do you ever look in the mirror and you're like, fuck, I look like a child? And then you remember it's a one-way mirror to your basement dungeon. This is my impersonation of a child rapist. Am I gonna go in timeout? It's a child rapist. About me, I'm a time traveler from 1996. It took me 23 years to get here. I've got irritable bowel syndrome. I'm not an angry asshole. I just have one. What that means is I suffer from alternating constipation and diarrhea. But half the time, I don't give a shit. This is supposed to be like self-deprecation. But if I take any longer, it might be self-defecation. A lot of the bathrooms these days have sensor lights. And if I'm in there for a while, the light will turn off. You ever had to poop in the dark? I can't even tell you how shitty it is. Someone recently caught me trying to have anal sex with a statue. I think I finally hit rock bottom. And in that case, I would be a stoner. Earlier this week, my father gave me a book, a journal, called A Father's Legacy, meant to be filled in with the adventures of the father and passed down to the son. And when he handed it to me, I opened it up and I said, "Dad, this is empty." And he said, "Drew, I didn't know your real father." I find it hard to tell abusive family jokes, because for a lot of people, they kind of hit close to home. Like the one about the abused wife. She knows her husband like the back of his hand. After spending time abroad, I found out that I have parasitic worms in my intestines, but on the bright side, at least I'm no longer alone. I cook my own meals, and the parasites haven't left yet, so I'm assuming that I'm a good host. The other day, I tried to give blood, and they wouldn't accept it because it wasn't mine. The best kind of garage sales are run by strippers. because they can always break a 20. The name Jorge, what is that? Like a medieval barn prostitute? I met a gassy whore. She was a prostitute. Do you ever steal a baby from candy? It's not like she knew the father. My girlfriend was deep-throating me, and my penis was going all the way down her throat. Not because I have a giant penis, but because she's a long-time smoker. They say that intelligent people talk to themselves a lot. Sorry, I wasn't talking to you. Do you ever eat Lucky Charms and you're constipated and you try and poop and nothing comes out? You try and poop and nothing comes out, and the third time's a charm? A lot of people take me literally. I've got a problem with kidnappers. Someone asked me to explain that joke. I said, it's about you. My girlfriend is going into labor soon, but for now she's just unemployed. I met this guy the other day, and he was like, Drew, is that short for like Andrew? And I said, yeah. Eugene, is that short for like eugenics? Nah, you're inferior. I've got a friend that eats his feelings, you know the type? But he's a sociopath, so he's really skinny. I was told that I'm beautiful on the inside. She said, Drew, I wish that you could see what I see in you. And I said, for fuck's sake, hurry up with the colonoscopy. The Invisible Man's dad got a sex change, became a woman, and now the Invisible Man has a transparent. I feel like if I keep moving this up and down, something's gonna pop eventually. My mom said, Drew, if you keep telling all these dark jokes, someday someone's not gonna hire you. And I said, really, Mom? They're not gonna hire me because of how dark I am? My girlfriend has an extreme foot fetish, and she wanted me to put my entire foot inside her vagina. And I was cool with it, Like, up until the point where I started to get trench foot. You may have noticed by now that I'm obesely morbid. Depression suffers from me. The first people to have six-packs were the Aboriginals. I was getting a blowjob from this chick with pounds and pounds of makeup on. I came all over her face and it was just icing on the cake. Hello? I can't sleep unless I'm holding something, like my body pillow, or my girlfriend, or my body pillow made of past girlfriends. Some of you may remember the Oroville Dam catastrophe a few years back. I was living in Davis at the time, and it freaked me out. The idea that my city, Davis, might be flooded with people from Oroville. If you didn't think that's funny, you clearly haven't been to Oroville. I inherited a morgue, but I'm more of a businessman than a mortician. So I think I might turn it into a Build-A-Bear workshop for necrophiliacs. I like my women like I like my burgers, thick and juicy, and sometimes in bags in the freezer. Why do I do dark humor? For over 10 years, I've suffered from severe stomach problems, and for over 5 years, I've had major depression. I feel blessed that I've found ways to cope with chronic pain, depression, suicidal ideation. I'll tell you what, it's really hard to find advice on how to kill yourself. Everyone I ask is clearly bad at it. They say that time heals all wounds. That statement is contradicted by literally billions of dead people. It's a bit bewildering when people get upset at the dark jokes I do. It's like, if that upset you, just wait for real life to hit. You're in for a fucking bummer. If your life hasn't shit on you yet, that just means that your life is constipated. All of that shit is on its way. I'll give you a piece of advice. The best form of suicide prevention is self-defense. A lot of people think I just sit down and go, man, what's funny about rape? I want to write a rape joke. I don't write like that. Example. A couple months ago, I was upset after being stood up on a date and thinking, what do I text this girl after she says that she forgot because she was away from her phone? If I say anything even remotely mean, it'll validate her not showing up. Plus, I'm not a mean person. But as I'm thinking of something elegant, tactful, educational to say to her, the part of my brain that suffers endlessly goes, Drew. I got stood up on a date the other day. Instead of being vindictive or mean, I sent her a text from the heart and said, because you didn't show up, some other girl had to get raped. Beautiful. What did I actually write? While I don't doubt your excuses, and I'm sure you have positive qualities, I cannot date someone who would stand someone else up, especially after having "please don't suck" in your bio. Even though I appear not as a person, but an idea, merely some text and images in a dating app, I too am a person like you, who has feelings and deserves respect. If you're not interested, just say so. Good luck finding someone that doesn't suck. There aren't many out there. In other news, my penis absorbs lotion really well. Sorry, I don't mean to rub it in. In Mexico, soy sauce is very introspective. I created a new dating app for old people on their last legs looking for love. You may have heard of it. It's called Dilapidating. We've got limited time memberships for members with limited time. My Vietnamese friend invited me to his barbecue. And when I got there, I got kind of upset because he had a dog on his grill. And I said, dude, I told you, you're a terrible driver. My girlfriend can only get off if she's shit-faced, which is great for me because I've got IBS. She's got brown eyes sometimes. There's a Wikipedia page on me. It says, this page has serious issues. I met a suicidal grape with a foot fetish. He said, turn me into wine. Anyone here ever been to the parade of the crippled dogs? Bitches be trippin'. I've got a bruised ego, but that's mostly because I have an abusive id. And my superego talks like this. I got a new rape whistle. My girlfriend is a virgin, and so we were thinking about taking that next step. And so I asked her if she was ready, because there's no going back. And she said that she was, so I sacrificed her. It was really funny. This little kid was pronouncing legumes wrong. He kept saying, "Let go of me." One's always a crowd pleaser, but not for the missing parents. My girlfriend's dental work came back. Yep, she died in the fire. I was told to follow my dreams, so I became a monster hunter, because I only have nightmares. My mom told me, delayed laughter. My mom told me I needed to stop stuffing my face with red meat, but I just can't help it. I love Native Americans. This is my impersonation of a pterodactyl. He just found out he's the last of his kind. You might be thinking right now, is Drew going to rape and murder me after the show? Don't worry, I can't multitask. All of the men in the audience, I wanted to make it really clear to you. Women don't owe you sex, but some of them owe me. Speaking of sex, sometimes I'll go on a date just for sex. I won't talk and I'll listen the entire time. I call it a vagina monologue. My friend Cliff, he puts his clothes on a hanger. A cliffhanger. I told my girlfriend to be more animalistic. She threw her poop at me. I dumped my girlfriend. It's a bit upsetting, the idea that I'll never see her face again because I don't buy milk cartons. That joke will be lost on future generations, and future generations will be lost in that joke. I got a blowjob, but I still have my foreskin on, so my cover was blown. You guys are an awesome crowd. I used to have a black girlfriend. Well, after the house fire. I dumped her. I don't remember which river. Earlier today, I put my hair in a pony. My pubic hair in a pony. My girlfriend keeps getting pregnant. I told her to cut it out. She said, "Stop babying me." I'm drawing a blank, also known as modern art. You ever making out with someone and you find out that they've got oral herpes, and you also find out they're not a someone, but a lizard person, and you wake up the next morning with dinosaurs? I once had a text message cost me $8,500, not including the charges from the vehicular manslaughter. I've got so much pubic hair that you can hardly see my penis. My girlfriend calls me Sasquatch. I try and send her dick pics, but they always come out blurry. How does my girlfriend's pussy taste? Umami. Just can't get enough. I think that the Transformers abused cash for clunkers to get money for their abortions. Do you ever laugh so hard that stuff comes out of your nose? I tell hilarious jokes when my girlfriend doesn't swallow. My girlfriend asked me if I'd ever eaten cactus. I said, no, I don't really like pricks in my mouth. But I'll tell you what, my girlfriend loves cactus. I made a summer camp for fat Nazi kids. It's called Mein Sommerkampf. I called up one of my friends to help me bury a body, and he showed up with a bunch of dirt. It's not really the thought, it's more the sediment that counts. I think the reason that most Americans don't have six-packs is because they have six-packs. The other day, I was wearing my fur coat, and this chick walks up to me and says, you know, an animal had to die so that you can wear that. And I said, no, I got it at a thrift store. It's a rescue. In the prison system, ED stands for emotionally disturbed. I was seeing this chick, and I told her that I have ED. And she said, it's okay, we can get over that. And so I had sex with her headless body. This other chick flirtatiously asked me, do you like to try new things? And I said, yeah, but I don't like to objectify women. I've got 2 more jokes. So a lot of people would be like, you know, Drew, I noticed that there's the common theme of violence against women in your humor. Do you ever have any jokes where you make it about men? I mean, come on now. So the other day, I was raping this guy. And he's sprawled across the floor, scrambling, trying to find something. And I said, hey man, Have you considered that maybe what you're looking for has been inside you this whole time? Never thought that I'd make a joke about me raping a man and that my parents would be laughing and having paid to see it. This will be my last joke for the night. I'm DarkDryDrew. So this joke's a very special joke. In fact, no one has ever heard this joke before.